Hello everyone, this is Michi Hoyer from Avid Chronic Racing and I'm live here for the Simpit doing another requested episode of how to set up a car, doing setup guiding, doing questions and answers, especially to the upcoming Formula Simracing 2018 season. Since the car we will be investigating today is in fact the Formula Simracing car. So it's the current 0.60 version of the Marco Conti physics, and yeah, we will have a look into that car in its current state and how it's performing at the minute. This car is still work in progress, that's for sure. So there's still a lot of things to be changed. I've just heard that handling wise it's close to being finished. And yeah, we're gonna look how this thing will appear, how this thing will also then behave on track. So yes, definitely going to be interesting to see. Last time around I drove at Spain like 2 or 3 weeks ago on a different set of physics. Felt quite nicely though. Had some massive understeer in slow corners. Apart from that, it was pretty much easy to drive. Well, not easy, but it was good to drive, fun to drive. Definitely gonna look at how this car is performing right now. Yeah, just waiting for that lobby to be finally launched. So I'm on the public Formula Simracing server at the minute. Here at Silverstone. And I'm definitely gonna have some fun. As I've already seen, there's a little glitch in the track with the car being put on the wrong side of the track. Anyway, so this is standard setup at the minute. So I just have a quick look if I can see anything that doesn't suit my liking at all, which is none at the minute. So we go out like this, and probably not on the soft tire because the soft tire is a bit too soft. So we take it a medium, and we go. So it's the first time for weeks I'm driving this FSR car 2018 version, and definitely gonna be interested myself how it feels. So I just do my standard installation laps here. And interestingly, I do not have to turn the wheel too far in order to make the car turn. So Formula Simracing will be a V6 hybrid car. We will have a lot of engine modes, like up to 5. As you can see, I'm currently into the third one. So third engine mixture, definitely going to be the mixture you want to use for the race. We also will have turbo boost or a boost mode for qualifying, but you won't be able to use that in the race because that will simply burn the engine to death within minutes. Around Spain I did like 7 laps or 8 laps before the car went into a blow on the engine. So right now I just doing the one or other installation lap before really hitting the track hard, but I already felt that the rear end is quite loose. So we also will have DRS enabled. But for this setup guide I'm not going to use it at all. Because we want to see what's the car going to be able to produce in race pace speed wise. Yeah, there's way too less grip in the rear end as we spin around Beckett's. So that definitely means, and that was my first reaction looking at the wings, that there's way too much grip on the front, aerodynamically obviously. So, without being my pit box anywhere, here it's right at the end, but nevertheless, we're gonna park the car here. Looking at the wings, there is a difference between on 8 clicks, and the front is set on maximum, whereas the rear was minus 8 towards that, so that's too much anyway. So we better have it at 40. I felt that the turning was too hard as well, so way too much steering lock there. As you can see, here are the 5 engine mixtures, so going from wet to lean and to race 1 and race 2, which gives you a lot more power, and obviously in qualifying you run max power in the combination with a boost mapping, which is Q mode or race mode. But we stick into 5 here at the minute, as I quickly have to answer a message, I think. There you go. Because that's Sean getting ready for his Rally Cross series. Just letting me know here. So you guys definitely gonna have a lot of entertainment going on today on the Simpit channel. I think that's quite for sure there, and gonna be definitely an interesting day. So, with having set those settings, we go out again and see if the balance feels a lot better for us, as now you have issues to get around these corners here. Speed limiter on. We don't want to get fined a speeding. So right now we do have a lot less wings at the front, and a lot less wings in general, but we just were hitting 294 on the straight, so looking forward to hit a lot higher speeds right now, which is 305. Definitely better than before, and definitely more useful in that race, because basically you need some straight line speed. Despite all these corners, it's quite a high speed track. Although you're not running like, oops, yeah, massive grip discrepancy between the high wings and now the lower wings. But I wanted to finish my sentence, as on this track you don't want to run too high wings, because yeah, in the end you're gonna be a sitting duck here on those massive straights, which are still long enough to pull out some crazy overtake. Anyway, looking to set in a lap time after this lap now. And remember, the car is on full fuel. Well, that's turn 1 and turn 2 coming up. They're also softening the steering in terms of steering range of the wheel. That's a lot better. So with that setup, we're definitely gonna set our first benchmark where we're gonna look at, and that means resetting the top bar, the delta best at the top, in order to then in the end be able to validate our gains throughout setup. And there we go, coming around 135.3 for the first time around. And I do think I lack some front end grip, which on the way back to the pit lane I will further investigate. Since I do think that the rear end is quite a bit too stable right now. Looking at tires as well, so the front tire is already down by some more percent. You can see that on the right hand side, on the top, below the mirror. So there's the reading saying wear, and as you can see, the front left, which is definitely the tire that's being used the most around this track, is pointing 4% less wear or less tire left than the rears on the left hand side, which is a clear sign that the car balance is way too much on the rear aerodynamically, so the rear is being too grippy. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever about me, about this car, about this bunch of tracks, about Formula Simracing or the Simpit or setups or whatever, just shoot them to me. As I already can tell you, as soon as I gonna be finished with this, Sean will hop on and do the next of his shows. So you're definitely being held busy here. Right, looking aerodynamically, I want to add 5 notches to the front and see if this feels better. And that's anything I do for now, because otherwise I'm not going to see any difference, or the difference being made by aerodynamical changes, if I do change anything else together with that. So we go out and see how it feels. Obviously want to improve on that 35.3. So we do give the tires some time to heat up. As we met 308 kilometers per hour on the back straight, so on Hanger Straight, not on this one. We reached 305 there last time around with the lower wings. So now we just hit 302, so there's clear coincidence that the front wing produces quite a massive amount of drag, which that will also be visible in the Motec. If you work with Motec, that's definitely some interesting tool. It's definitely something very useful there. Only hitting 306 on the Hangar Straight there, but anyway, I have a lot more front end grip, which is very nice. As you can see, the car is a lot more nervous, so it's a little bit more challenging. But as you can see, the front wing change definitely gave us some benefit around the first 4 or 5 corners. Probably will show even more around 6, 7 and 8. There you go. And now expect a massive time gain through Cobb's corner. With carrying a little bit more speed, it's close to 1.5 tenths just by aerodynamical grip. And obviously here in those high speed corners, Mackett's, Beckett's, Chapel, increasing the time delta even further. We came in at 134.3, so an improvement close to 1 second, and that was obviously a massive crash. Yeah, so engine gone, front wing gone, could be a lot more gone to be fair. Anyway, don't want to look at that massive crash again. Going on with that setup thing, I really want to change something on the back of the car. Having a ride height of 7.5 feels definitely too much for me, because the ride height is working on the diffuser, so the more ride height you put, the less efficiency the diffuser will pull out. And furthermore, what also this does not help on the wear at the front is that we have a very stiff anti-roll bar, so the suspension not rolling too much from left to right, putting all the loads on the tires, hence why we go a few clicks softer there. Generally, the setup is just alright, because Formula 1 car is generally a lot stiffer in the front than in the rear, so that's hit quite good here, especially looking at the spring rate. Whereas I think that's massively too stiff in the front, so maybe you have to look a little bit more into setup details as well as into graphics. Seems interesting. So it feels like a proper car. Right. Oh, that's very interesting indeed. So I see whether out tapping and re-tapping helps. No, it for some reason it did. So as you can see, a lot of things still needs to be worked on. That's all down to our dev teams. And if you guys want to give this one a ride, just quickly jump into your rFactor 2, go on the server page, go into open lobbies and look for servers called www.formula-simracing hashtag any number from 1 to 3. And currently I'm on the formula-simracing.net hashtag 1. So the number 1 server, which has these physics on here. Son, I think you want to look at the spring not being inverted in your force feedback settings. To me it sounds like that the force feedback, or the forces that should drag the wheel back into the centered position, are pulling your the position towards the outside. So you probably have to set the force feedback force from minus value to positive values. That should fix it. As a well-known Formula Simracing member of my team from Aeroconic Racing, Robin Panzer joins in that session, and yeah, I'm happy to have some cars driving around on the circuit together with me, so I don't feel too lonely. A quick salutation. So Michael, what's your issue with your wheel rotation? Like, setting this one up is probably more to being personal liking, as I hope that my new front suspension helps a little bit more on the front end grip. No problem, mate. Appreciate your question. I hope that I can fix it with that answer. As I lose a little bit of momentum out of Chapel. Going down Hanger Straight into Stowe. Oh, a bit too early and too hard on the power, losing every bit of time just gained. I can see the temperatures going into the reds, which means definitely I'm putting too much pressure on the car. And therefore the thermal degradation comes up pretty massively. So that after just one lap I got, again, the front left scrubbed even more than anything else. So clearly, I have to say that about the camera angles and the camera position. The cameras are only coordinates where your point of view is. So changing camera angles wouldn't affect the physics at all. And also, it doesn't matter what kind of textures are in the car. There's one basic physics model, and no matter what object is on the car, it would not affect the physics. So all this stuff is only visible or visual rather than really realistical. I think the sims out there currently are not sophisticated enough, but that's definitely something that's going to come into the future. Luke, thank you very much for your advice about the wings. At this stage, currently running the basic set, I could not see the possibility that lower front wings rather than rear wings would work on this circuit at all. But you may want to tell me what you changed to the setup to make those wings work. Because to me, simply, I lack massive front end grip, despite sliding out of that corner here. Oh yeah, Glimmerill. I fully agree with you. However, you won't find it on any sim that a camera position on the car would change the balance or would change the aerodynamics or the physics. I think not even on iRacing, which is quite a detailed and also well calculated physics engine. Currently, I'm definitely putting too much stress on the front tires for some reason. So Adam, with your wing set 42 in the front, 45 in the rear, I would be interested how you manage the front tires, because now even having more front wing than rear wing, as you can see from here, you should burn those tires even more. Full fuel. I'm looking for the red side to be turned down a bit. Hmm. So you put the car balance towards the front as we have it on 46.0, so put it more to the front means actually like this. And you also put the braking frontwards, so that would mean like as it is right now. I give that one a try right now. But usually that's not too much to my liking at all, but nevertheless I'm gonna test it. Well, my FOV is wrong anyway. I should have a an FOV of I think 15 or something, but I use 46 or something because at least I want to see my front wing, my front wheels, and a little bit more, which is necessary for battling and hitting apexes for me. And yeah, as I expected, the car just feels stable, even stabler than you could have expected from that setting, and understeer through those slow sections just as much as stable as it is. As I'm hunting my time there a bit. But yeah, I don't see me coming anywhere near it. Even losing time here and there, and I will lose a lot around this section, I do believe. And yet the tire wear is not better whatsoever. Although I'm not missing too much in the time delta, so maybe I can give that one a go, but no. I just spun out. I quickly put in with escape and put stuff backwards. However, what I do think helps me more is putting weight to the back, as well as putting the brake bias more towards the back. And furthermore, I will increase the rear right height to make the diffuser work even harder, and I will soften the spring rate a lot. What's the minimum? Right, that's low. We take like the middle 300. We go out like that, and if all my knowledge is right, of which I hope it is, I should now be able to ditch into the 33s. Yeah, Adam, you definitely should. I think adding more rear wing and more momentum to the front car, as you said, you like the front end to be sharp, will clearly be the right option. The car likes spinning around now, so the front suspension definitely being a lot softer. Not sure if too soft, but it feels good. I do not need to turn the wheel too much at the minute. Sorry, Luke. I know that you and your brother are switching accounts from time to time. I don't think so, Dan. That's just pretty much of a task. Ooh, there's too less grip in the back now. So with that rear end stability, I'm probably not going into the 33s at all. Despite the car now is being really fast around the corners. As you can see, we gained another few hundreds in cops, and will gain here, I think. Especially on the entry towards Hanger Strait. So now the front end being a little bit too aggressive. Oh dear. And the rear end being a little bit too loose because of aerodynamical grip. So that will make me change some further things. I will go 2 clicks down in the front. Will at least soften the front spring a little bit again. And I will soften the third spring of the rear. Which will give me a little bit more downforce at the back. And I will stiffen the third spring at the front, which will get me tiny little less downforce at the front. And having the car set like this, I would go again. So when you guys are talking about setups and working on setups, just make sure to always work at the specific in a specific scheme. So you go out on track, you experience something, you identify some problem, you maybe note it down, and then when you have identified the problem and made your mind up whether it's feelable, like in some way a little slide oversteer like that was too much obviously, so you have to change something either to your driving or either to your setup, or if it was catchable, you're gonna start to decide whether you can deal with it in a race, like with that. And if you have opened your mind on this, whether it's okay, whether you can deal with it for a race or something, you stick with it. If you can't deal with the race, you make up your mind, what can I do to just fix that problem? And then you do something, and bear in mind, by changing a specific set or changing a specific valuable, you may also change the balance of the car in another aspect. And then you go out again, retest it, probably see different problems, and you go all over the process again until you find a setting that you actually feel comfortable with. So that turn 1 finally was pretty good. A little bit too late into turn 3. I'm slightly missing the front end of the car a few minutes ago. But the front end was just too hard at other points, as I just mentioned. So I'm now more happy to have a more stable car, especially on the exits where it really counts that you carry the speed onto the straight. Nevertheless, car balance is still great. Looking into a little bit of an improvement lap time wise. Oh, hitting that stupid curb there. Right, looking at the gauges, I still think that the front end can be a little bit softer. I want to go back with the front wing by 1 click, and to make the car much more turning in the slow corners I will decrease the coast, because the coast then will enable to let the rear tires spin more more on their own, so less linking but towards the speeds of those tires. And so we keep this. I think we stay with it for the rest of the set there. As we now want to try to improve the lap finally into the 33s, which we definitely can do with the car. It's definitely fast enough, as you can look at our virtual best time, which is a 33.8. And I think this year's FSR car will be a very interesting one. Gonna be a lot about managing tires, it's gonna be about managing fuel, managing power on the car. So a lot of managing will go on. I think that's for sure. And I think we have to look at different driving style as well. Like in this in-lap now, I feel if you're gently on the wheel and everything, the car turns really good and is not overheating the tires too hard. However, we definitely need to have a look on the speed though. So for now, we just go full throttle and see what the car gives us. So the coast definitely helped. I think we're set in the purple sector 1, so we're having a 25.7. Yep, that's a purple sector 1 for ourselves, so not purple on the session, but a personal best. So it's a green first sector. Yeah, that was a very bad cops corner, hence why we lost so much time there. Anyway, trying to nail the rest of the circuit, not spinning. All this car feels very weird in the end, you really have to say. Well, that was just a mistake out of Chapel Corner there. Racing this car in those conditions right now, definitely a lot more balanced. You can see this on tire wear, like the delta between front and rear is not too bad. So I definitely can go quicker if I get the lap together. And racing the 25.713, I think this will be another faster sector. And as it was a 25.681. So some other improvement there. I lost it through this turn 8 though, so now focusing on Cobb's Corner. That was a better drive through here as well. Now looking at the improvement of close to 7/10. Coming in at 33.6 finally. And now I'm simply overdriving the car. And I think that will put me into an interesting thing. Because I'm now trying to drive the car just smoothly and as soft as possible around the track. As I'm going to ask my colleague for his fuel and tires used for his 131.9. That's a nice thing that you've done, Glimmeril. So congrats for that. I really do not like the Mazda MX-5 too much. As I have to agree with what Robin says about the medium. Like it's a considerable hard compound. But not being too hard or something. So I definitely will have a look at tire wear when going around the circuit like I'm doing at the minute. So I'm not focusing for lap time now. I'm probably gonna hit 34s. But you definitely want to see an impact on tire wear when driving in some sort of more smooth way. Probably not as fast, but I mean if you can skip 1 or 2 stops with it, you can afford to go a little slower on those laps, because in the end it's often all about track position that wins or loses you a race. So we just want to go smooth and do not punish especially the front tires too hard there. Because when the fronts go away, the understeer will appear, and the problem will get worse with the understeer, which then rubs the front tires even more. So it gets you into some kind of, in Germany it's called a circle of the devil. So really downwards going drain, which you can't escape from. Oh yeah, Glimmeril. I hate this this Laguna circuit as well, pretty much. And what Dan said is absolutely right. Like this iRacing thing, I was looking so good in the skip arbor 2 days ago, and I throw it in the penultimate lap. So doing a 34.1. Still a bit faster than what I expected. Like I thought by going a little more smooth, I would lose a lot more time. And probably because the right hand side of the tires is not being too much forced at all, or too much being used on this track. You can really throw the car into left hand corners and make the right hand tires scream, because they won't be used quite as badly, as I just totally misjudged though. But anyway, so far the tire wear looked a lot better than before when pushing the car hard. As now I want to compare my setup to my mate. So fueling to 100 liters, getting the lean mix engaged, and then see what this car is able to produce in terms of lap time. So I'm not sure whether I'm be able to beat his 131.9. But I will definitely try to. And sure gamer, no, I did not test the McLaren MP4-30 yet. I have bought it already, I think, so there's no need for me testing it. However, with that MGUK, MGUH and all that ERS going on, despite being on a G29 wheel, I do feel not like not having enough buttons. Yeah, so so we're definitely gonna be interested what the lean mix will do on the power. With a race mix 1, we have reached like 310 kph on hanger straight, and I will look for a decent exit out of Chapel Beckett to see what this lean mix is going to produce power wise. So in the end we do hit 309, close to 310, so not too much of a power disadvantage, I think. Which points to the fact that we are running equal wings here, Robin and me. And now I'm trying to beat his lap time with being a little lighter on fuel. Let's see if we can do. But I highly doubted that I'm gonna be that good than he is. And I think this is mainly because his setup is created at Spain, so it's quite sophisticated. I know he's already turned a massive amount of laps there to probably test the physics of this car, giving us an advantage for the Formula Simracing season 2018. So I'm really happy, and I really appreciate all his work he put in there. So it would have been surprising for me if I had like any chance to come near his lap time. Despite the fact that this lap is not really a good one. So I definitely pull into a second one. So we just gained a little bit of time.
1:33.02.
So a better exit out of this corner. Hopefully going better through cops as well. really, I have to say. Goes a little bit faster, but still not fast enough. Slightly losing the car on the entry of Hanger Straight. So I'm coming close to his second. Will I make it though? So it seems like only just in the second attempt I beat him by rather 38 thousandths of a second, but that really shows the strength of his setup that it like takes me the second lap. I'm not sure on which lap he did his run, but as you can see, he's quite operating on a very high and very sophisticated level, and his setup definitely gives him all the confidence he needs to really step on it and be on the accelerator. But yeah, this puts me towards the end of the show. Since I know Sean is getting impatient with running the Rallycross series on iRacing, as there is a week off and he can have a lot of fun there. So I definitely can see his point. Wanna racing. Anyway, I will come back surely for some other episode of how to set up a car. I've not gone into detail too much at the minute, but I definitely will in further shows. I will also come up with some Motec knowledge at some point. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching me today, and I hope you guys have learned something maybe, or have witnessed something you might want to try. And even if you guys just got your question answered, that will now help you. That's probably all the job I wanted to do today. And yes, Sir Ellen, I definitely will race Sean at some point. I already poke him like, hey man, how about racing together? So we will do some race, that's for sure, but we will do something else. So Sean and me will be live on a Thursday together at 11 a.m. Sorry, at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 19 o'clock at Central European Time. I do think so, 6 p.m. GMT. And we will be there not for racing, but for something else. And I really can encourage you guys to have a look into it. It's gonna be some great sort of news, I want to say. And yeah, I hope you guys being patient to see what is coming next there. But anyway, for now, I can only say I will hand over this stream towards Sean Cole, doing his rallycross stuff there on iRacing, which he really likes and he really enjoys himself driving it. So I don't want to keep him being impatient and finally getting on. And I only can say, guys, stay with that stream. Sean will be back live very soon, a few further minutes I think, then he will be back live on this channel. If you like what I do, make sure to like, share and subscribe. I will be live on my personal channel as well today, doing some other racing, maybe some sim racing system. I don't really know yet, but I will be live in half an hour or up to 1 hour, so make sure to check out. My name is Michi Hoyer, I'm from Avericonic Racing, and I was live for the Simpit, and I see you guys out on track. Thanks for watching.